So I want to introduce you and welcome you to Big Skinny's Backyard Cooking. We're not just going to concentrate on Dutch oven cooking, we're going to do all kinds of backyard grilling, smoking, and Dutch oven cooking. But today we're going to try to tackle something called chicken pot pie. I know we're all familiar with chicken pot pie. We've bought it, frozen food all of our life, but how many of you have ever taken the time to make it homemade? And how many of you have ever taken the time to make it homemade and over a campfire? These are some pretty good survival skills that you can have for an emergency. Say you lose your power and you don't have a way to cook, or say you're out camping and you want to cook something. Well, these Dutch ovens, the way they're made, you can cook just about anything in this Dutch oven that you can cook in your house. So I'm still pretty new to it. I'm learning, so we're going to hopefully learn together. I want to welcome you once again to Big Skinny's Backyard Cooking. Right now what we're doing is we're trying to get our charcoal up to temp so we can start browning our chicken. And I'll walk over here to the little chuck wagon layout table here I've got just about everything that we need, I think, to get this done. I've got 2 pretty good sized chicken breasts cut up. I've got a medium sized onion diced up along with about 5 cloves of garlic. I've got about 6 to 8 stalks of celery cut up. I've got a can of evaporated milk. I've got about 6 to 8 medium size. I like the butter gold potatoes because they cook a little faster. I've got fresh ground rosemary, thyme, and sage, my poultry seasoning. I've got a little bit of peanut oil that we're going to use for cooking the chicken, as well as making us a roux for the gravy for the chicken pot pie. I've got my own special seasoning here. It is salt, garlic, and pepper. And we've got our frozen vegetables, our green beans, and our peas and carrots, along with a little bit of chicken stock. And of course, you got to have the crust, so we've got some crescent rolls. And that's all we're going to need today to make a chicken pot pie. We're going to throw a couple of tablespoons of oil in here to get this meat going. Let that get good and heated up. Put that lid on there so maintain a little heat until we get her heated up to temperature. All right, we're gonna go ahead and throw our onions and garlic on there just to get them going. How's that smell? The voice behind the camera. Say hello to my beautiful wife, Cynthia. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing? Got the fragrance of our onions going, so we're going to dump our chicken in here. And I put a little flour in the chicken already just to kind of give us a little bit of thickener. Get that browned up. Incorporate all that good onion and garlic flavor into that chicken. That's what I'm talking about right there. Chicken just about done, just about where we want it. Then we're going to add our flour and our oil to make our roux, which is going to be in turn make our gravy. So that's what's coming next. That's the next step. We're going to build our roux so we have a little gravy in our pot pie. Can't have pot pie without a little chicken gravy. Well, I guess you could, but it just wouldn't be as good. All right, let's take a gander at that chicken. So you can hear it sizzling away with that garlic and that onion. I tell you, it does smell good. And you can see it's picking up a little brown color. That's kind of what we wanted. Want to get a little sear going on it. So we're about where we want it right now, because it's gonna continue cooking in the broth once we make the broth for it. So what we're gonna do now is We're gonna go ahead and put our oil in there. It's about a quarter cup of oil. And you can use whatever oil you want to use. Me personally, I like peanut oil, but that's just me. And then we're going to put our flour in here. About a quarter cup of flour. We're going to get that stirred around real good. Build our roux up here. One thing you want to do on this flour is you want to cook it a little bit. You don't ever want to just throw your ingredients in once you put that flour in there. You got to let it cook that flour taste out of there. So you're going to let it cook just a little bit to get that flour taste out. Usually takes about 3 to 5 minutes or so. And work out all those lumps that you might have. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add us about 12 ounces of evaporated milk. This is really good because it's really convenient if you're out camping and you want milk. You can use this evaporated milk and it does the trick. Don't have to worry about refrigeration or any of that kind of stuff. So we're just going to kind of work that around a little bit. This would be a good time to add a little bit of our secret blend. Look at that, already starting to come together pretty good, isn't it? We're going to add about a half a deal of chicken stock here. Because one thing is you don't want that too thick. Good. Let that come to a boil and it'll start thickening up. We're going to go ahead and add our dry herbs, fresh herbs, whatever you have. Just to give a little bit of oomph. Those fresh herbs are always better. Just let that come to a boil. Make sure you continue to stir it or else it'll scorch. How's that smelling? Delicious. All right. So we're going to throw in those potatoes and the celery. Throw some more coals in that here in a minute. Let that rip until the potatoes are done and throw the biscuits on top of there. All right, I think our potatoes are just about done. It's been about 35 minutes or so. So we're gonna go ahead and put our crust on there, let it start browning up. Give everything a quick stir. Took some of the coals off the bottom so that it wouldn't continue to cook so much. I don't want it cooking as much on the bottom. Stir that around a little bit. Get that all mixed together. All right, we're gonna lay our crust on there and let her root. Extra there. Brown up. All right, I think we're just about there. It looks like. Looks like we're good to go. Everything browned up nicely. So we'll get her in the house. We'll see what she looks like when we cut into it.